What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back with another player ratings video. Welcome back to the studio to Joe once again. We were up in Burnley together, long way up, long way down. But I thought first half was a real struggle, but I thought we came to play second half once Jose made those changes.
Yeah, shocking first half. Beginning the second and towards the end of the second, I feel like we showed what we're capable of, but the fact that we didn't kick on from, the Wolves performance is still frustrating. We keep going up, having a decent performance, then going back down. Had a good performance and then go back down, and then the second half we went up again, and then just to go end rubbish.
Yeah, it is. But let's get straight into the ratings. Let's start off with Hugo Lloris. We gave him a 5. I thought he could have done a lot better with the goal, let's be honest. The ball comes in and he just kind of parries it out. And the closest Burnley player, albeit Dyer maybe could have had better reactions, but Hugo most definitely should have had better reactions for that.
Yeah, he parried it literally to the nearest player, and he could have gone anywhere else. He could have tried to save it, and it was one of those situations where the goal was very powerful, and although it did look like it would have been hard to defend, no one stuck their foot out. Ndombele didn't even move. He literally went like that and just sort of looked away, and then no one did anything for the goal to try and stop it, and we're disconnected.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the goal, he did make a great save late on, but apart from that, he was fairly untested, Hugo Lloris.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we gave him a 5. Moving on to Japhet Tanganga, we gave him a 6. I thought he struggled in the first half, Japhet Tanganga, to kind of contain McNeil, but in the second half I thought he really came to the fore, and I thought he put in a much improved performance second half.
Yeah, I agree. I think the first half he did start very slow. There was a few times going down that left hand side for Burnley. He's obviously on the right. They literally just got past him 3 times in a row within the space of about 5-10 minutes, and he started off very slow, as I say, let the ball go past him, but he looked to get more into his flow, came a bit stronger in the second half, and I think, yeah, that's a fair rating.
Which moves us on to Eric Dyer. We gave him an 8. I'm really starting to like the look of Eric Dyer. I, for one, have been a culprit to kind of beat him down the last couple of years for his performances, but last couple of performances from Dyer, I have no complaints whatsoever. I felt that in the first half, he was in a back 3. Second half he moved into in the middle, and I felt that his confidence is growing and growing and growing, putting in some great challenges, spraying some nice passes as well, so the confidence is growing from Eric Dyer, and that's what we love to see.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the second half especially, he had a really good save, a last ditch tackle that could have kept us in the game, and it did in the end. It proved to keep us in.
What a challenge that was. That was a brilliant challenge.
He held that back line together. Recently it's been more Sanchez than him. But through a mainly disconnected back 5, I'd say, through most of the match, especially the first half, he sort of held that together, and it could have been worse if it wasn't for him.
100%. Yeah, like we say, Eric Dyer, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing well, mate. Much better. Which moves us on to Toby Alderweireld. We gave him a 5. I thought it was really sloppy display from Toby, especially in the first half. There were some really scary moments in there at the back when he was trying to make some turns and some passes that were going astray. He did grow into it slightly in the second half, but albeit not good enough from Toby, I thought.
No, for me, all he did was get a couple of headers out of the box from, I think, a few corners, and that was literally it. I didn't see him make any substantial blocks that helped us out. He let the team down, because he's meant to be one of the experienced players now, and it's getting to the point where you're thinking, why are you in the side if you're not experienced enough to show the back line how it's done, and you're also not making these simple tackles that need to be made.
Yeah, and I think it kind of proves Jose's point why he hasn't been playing the last couple of games, and he really needs to buck up his ideas, Toby, because I think he's really getting. He's got worse last couple of weeks, albeit, I know he hasn't started in a while, but his last couple of starts have not been good enough. Which moves us on to Jan Vertonghen. We gave him a 6. Started at left wing back yet again. I thought he showed nice legs. He's also improving in this season. I thought his last game against Norwich was probably his best performance of the season so far, and then this one wasn't as good as that, but still good performance, showing that he still has a bit of life left in that tank.
Yeah, I agree with you actually. I feel like I'm glad to see him back in the side a bit more, because obviously it was heartbreaking to see when he was on the bench, like almost crying. because he's got so much talent in him, and maybe there's a little bit left in the tank, and if there is, I'm all down for it. Hopefully at centre back, because that's his main position. But you know, if it is at left back, because obviously Ben Davies was injured, then he can still do it. He can still put in a performance.
Yeah, I mean, Jan's last 2 performances at left wing back have been much better than Davis's last couple of performances there. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Moving on to Ollie Skip, we gave him a 5. I thought he was only on for 45 minutes, but I thought the majority of those 45 minutes he let the game pass him by, got a bit overrun in midfield, but he did save us on a number of occasions, headed off the line to save our asses, and again as well, last-ditch challenge at the end of the first half as well. So
yeah, I was happy with that, the last-ditch challenge, but other than that, he does look like he's still not ready for a starting position or anything like that. And as Mourinho said, really, it was probably the best thing to take him off. In fact, it was, because Lo Celso came on in place for him, so it was the right decision. But you know, I'm glad he's getting minutes.
Yeah, 100%. I don't want to beat him down too much for this performance. Yeah. He did save us, like I said, on 2 occasions, but yeah, probably it was a bit too much for him to play 120 minutes and then another game in the space of a week. So moving on to Tanguy and Ndombele, we gave him a 4. This guy, Jose Mourinho, really dug into him after the game. He got hauled off after 45 minutes as well as Skip. He just lets the game pass him by. His lack of effort, it seems. Jose Mourinho, I think, was spot on in his post-match press interview.
Yeah, I agree with him. Like, the amount of times he just let the ball stroll past him. Like, he walks around the pitch a lot of the time and he jogs and then lets the ball. It's just the fact that he doesn't look like he puts 100%. And we know we all love Winks because he always runs. Him and Lamela, work rate's always there, and that's what you want to see. You want to see just give everything. But he looks tired, like 90% of the match, and I don't know what it is. Maybe he's just not fit or whatnot. But he needs to start running more for starters, because otherwise, how is he going to even be involved in the game?
100%. It's really hard to watch with Tanguy as well, because everyone knows what talent he has. This guy has got abundance of talent, and you know, you can compare it with Giovanni Lo Celso, because they both came into the club pretty much the same time. Giovanni Lo Celso, he had his injury problems at the beginning, as is Ndombele, but Giovanni, look at him now. He's an absolute magician, absolute star of the Premier League, and Tanguy should be like that as well, but he's not. He needs to put in more effort.
Yeah. That's all I've got to say. He just needs to put in more effort for the next few games. Otherwise, he's really good. Well, he's been benched a lot, but it's gonna keep happening. Yeah. And he doesn't want that. No one does. You know,
and our record signing as well. He really needs to just buck up his ideas. Next up, Eric Lamela. We gave him a 6. I thought it was a good display from Eric Lamela. Some wasteful moments, some good moments. But our most important moment in the game, when we got the penalty, he's storming into the box, winning us that penalty. He provides us that positive impetus throughout the whole game and that energy, and that's what Eric Lamela does.
Yeah, as you say, the energy is his key thing, and a lot of the time it frustrates me. I'm sure it does all Spurs fans. The fact he's so left-footed. Yeah. Because there's sometimes opportunities where he can use his right and whatnot, but he's the most left-footed player you will ever see. And but you know, yeah, as for the penalty situation, he won that well. He wasn't involved too much, I don't think, throughout the match. He could have been involved a bit more. Whether that was due to Burnley's defence or whatnot, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's decent rating, decent game overall for him.
Moving on to Stevie B, Steven Bergwijn, we gave him a 6. I thought he started the game well, with some nice intent, trying to run at the defence. But I thought that this guy is literally out on his legs. He's playing every minute of football at the moment, and he looks dead on his feet. Towards the end, obviously he got injured towards the end as well, so remains to be seen how serious that is. But all in all, I think it was tough for Stevie, and he tired pretty soon.
Yeah, I think for me, he was pretty much invisible that match. Like, he's been playing so much, he's so tired. Like, he literally got injured at the end of the match, probably. In fact, it most definitely is, because he's just playing too often, and he's so new to this English football as well, that he's expected to just get it all whilst playing 2 games, not 3, 2 games a week, sometimes one. But yeah, I think he needs a couple games off, or at least on the bench, because he's playing a bit too much.
Well, you know, that might happen without our saying. You know, he might be injured, so we'll see what happens with that. But Let's move on to Dele Alli. We gave him a 6. Slotted his penalty really nicely. Should have got a goal apart from that from open play. But, you know, I think it was a bit of an up and down performance from Dele. I think it's hard for him playing up front, playing in a position where he's not used to. I think that in the second half he got a lot better. In the first half he was very quiet.
Yeah, it was good. Slotted the penalty well for his 50th Premier League goal, and I think
he likes to make that known, didn't he?
He did want to make that known. I thought it was a bit strange after the match, but it is. I saw actually he's done that faster than Scholes, Lampard, and Gerrard, so it is like well done to him for that. But as I say, back to the game, I think that his confidence is slowly coming back, because I feel like it went away sort of since he had that FA fine thing. He had a couple of sloppy games, but he looked a bit better yesterday.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that he grew into the game, as opposed to sometimes he starts well and kind of wins his way out. But I actually thought he grew into the game, and when we were doing some nice things attackingly, yes, he does his stupid flicks that most of the time don't go anywhere, but I thought he was providing some positive impetus in the game. Moves us on to Giovanni Lo Celso, got 45 minutes. Absolutely sensational performance. You could see as soon as he came on what we were missing in that game. He gets the ball, he runs at defences, he beats men, he provides chances for the team, and he is an absolute star in the making, an absolute magician on the ball, and he's our best player at the moment.
Yeah, you said it. He was so sharp yesterday, won the ball back countless amount of times, had some really nice shots. He was close, one of them, I think, sort of tried to finesse it round the left-hand side of the keeper, the right-hand side of the keeper.
Yeah.
But, no, that was one of the many chances he had, and he created most of them himself as well. So yeah, he was solid. He was really good.
And obviously Lucas Moura came on alongside with him on 45 minutes. I thought he was good. We gave him a 7. I thought he was good. He did provide some nice moments for the team. I remember one when he stormed through that middle of the park, beating 2 or 3 men, albeit nothing came of it. But I think that the positive impetus that Lucas Moura brought to the team in the second half was good. There was some quality at the end of his runs, and you know, I say time and time again, Lucas Moura brings a lot of energy to the team with lack of quality. This time he actually brought a bit of quality to him, but still needs to bring more, I think.
I think I've sort of realised something more, and I think he's one of those players, and he's better under pressure, like when he's hungry for something. Like as we can see against Barcelona, when we're almost about to get kicked out of the Champions League, he pulled up there. He pulled up obviously those amazing goals against Ajax. He pulls up in those important moments, and when he comes off the bench, when he's not starting, when he knows his position isn't safe, he comes up onto the pitch and puts in a solid performance, really energetic, as we were saying, skillful. So I think he's just one of those players where when he's safe in the squad, he almost doesn't have as much to play for, and he doesn't look as energetic. But when he comes off the bench, he's always playing really well.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that Serge Aurier, like you said, when he starts games, he's a bit wasteful sometimes, but I think he's much better when he's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
But I think the same about Eric Lamela as well. I think both of them are much better when they're coming off the bench. Yeah. Which moves us on to the last substitution of the game, which was Serge Aurier coming on for Lamela on the 78th minute. Not too much of note, to be honest. He came on with about 12 minutes to go, and he provided some nice outlet on the right-hand side. He didn't play right back, he played more of a right wing role. He provided some nice moments, but still not enough time, really.
Yeah, no, it wasn't enough time to judge on having a full performance. But I thought it would have been great if he could have got a nice cross into the box late on, because we were pushing for a goal, obviously. But that's not for him to blame, because he didn't have a lot of time to sort of work his sort of magic or whatever. So. Yeah,
the problem is that we don't have many players in the box at the moment, because there's no fox in the box, like Mourinho likes to call it. But it is what it is. But I thought Serge did okay. Obviously, they were resting him for the massive game this week against Leipzig. Moving on to Jose Mourinho, he set up the team very, very negatively in that first half. How did you feel about that?
I was saying on the fan cams, the fact that he started with 5 at the back was so negative. Maybe it was to the lack of options, but the fact that as soon as we changed to 3 at the back at half, did we change to 3 at the back?
To 4 at the back, yeah.
4 at the back at half time. As soon as we changed to 4 at the back at half time, we were more attacking, and we scored not long after. So it just showed how it was just unnecessary, and I don't understand the thought process behind that.
Well, I think the thought process was that, at the end of the Norwich game, he said that we need to look at the Premier League and the Champions League and see which one we need to prioritise. He needs to ask the board. I don't get that question whatsoever, because I feel that Premier League professional footballers are able to play 2 games in a week. I don't get the thought process behind that, but after knowing that that's what Jose's looking to do, it was obvious what he was trying to do. He was trying to save players for the Champions League. But I think you've got to play your strongest 11 in the game that is closest to you. You can't just rest players in the Burnley game. It was a very important game.
I agree, but on the same side, I sort of think that you do have to prioritise, because we've got a lack of players in the squad at the moment, lack of options, and that comes with obviously the amount of injuries we've had, which is unfortunate. But it means that if you play all your teams or the best squad in one of the games, then the other game you are going to slack, and that's just unfortunate for us. But I feel like although it was a bad starting lineup, there may be reasoning behind that, and it's just unfortunate.
But having said all that, I think the second half did give me a lot of food for thought. It made me a lot positive about the future. I felt that Mourinho can, get the ball down on the floor, play some good football. Giovanni Lo Celso, absolute talisman, and he's an absolutely amazing footballer. And it gives us a bit of positive thinking, and I think maybe we can go to Leipzig and do something.
I really think we can, because as I say, the players will be hungry for that, and if that is what Levy and Mourinho want, then I feel like we could really put in a good performance. But back to what you're saying, although I think we did have a much better second half, and the second half we were the better side, not overall in the game, but the second half we were. It happened against Wolves. The first half we were the better side, then we dropped off. The first against Burnley we were rubbish, then we got better. Like, when are we just going to have a good game and really put in a solid all-round performance?
No, it is frustrating. We only seem to be playing 45 minutes in games at the moment. But let's hope we can go out to Leipzig and put in an absolutely sensational performance, because we're going to need it to beat those lot, because when they came to Tottenham, they really taught us a footballing lesson at times, albeit it was only 1-0 from a penalty. Quite lucky to get away with it, but we're going to need to perform a lot better out in Germany tomorrow. So check out for all our content. We're rolling that game tomorrow. Like, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what you think of our player ratings. Tell me what you think your player ratings are. And as always, come on you Spurs.